after the accident in turn 4 at the end of the Daytona 500, we've lost Dale Earnhardt.
Those 4 words spoken by Mike Helton 10 years ago still reverberate around the country and in eastern North Carolina. The 7-time Cup champion had several ties to the area. He worked as a welder at the Weyerhaeuser plant in Craven County one summer before his racing career took off. And when he made his millions and wanted a yacht in the mid-1980s, he returned to New Bern to have Hatteras build it. When he wanted a second, bigger yacht built, he returned to Hatteras, and I had my first experience meeting the racing legend. What are you doing here in New Bern?
Well, we come down to say hi to all the Hatteras folks. We're ordered a new Hatteras to be done in a year, and just sort of give them a little pep talk and pumped up and do a little, hopefully do a good job.
The Intimidator had the rare ability to make you feel like his best friend or make you feel very small, but he was very tolerant of a young sports director and his amateur questions.
Forgive me for stereotyping, but you don't seem like the yacht kind of guy.
Well, they're not really yachts, they're Hatterases.
Right. His new Hatteras would be named Sunday Money, and he was supposed to pick it up a few weeks after the 2001 Daytona 500. I was at Daytona International Speedway for all of Speed Weeks that year. I saw Dale in Victory Lane the Wednesday before the race. He was doing interviews about the new controversial head and neck restraint devices, and he wasn't comfortable wearing one. He said he was happy with his low seat and his open-faced helmet. He asked me how his yacht was looking. Then he said he would be in New Bern in a couple of weeks to pick it up, but he never made it.
3 cars out. Oh! Big trouble. Big wreck behind them.
I was standing on the pit road wall when the crash happened. I remember thinking, it doesn't look that bad. That's good. Now Michael Waltrip can win the race, and that's a great story. We all know the number by now. 463 starts, and Michael Waltrip gets his first career win. The media in Victory Lane got the first hint that something was wrong when Michael Waltrip's celebration was turned down a notch after the initial rush.
Well, it'd be real sweet if I wasn't. I'm really worried about my buddy. I could enjoy all that because I didn't even know about it, but now it's all I can think about.
Then the rumors started flying about Dale's condition. A press conference was called for 7 p.m. About 300 media members jammed into a small room. I was standing on top of a desk with a camera when Mike Helton walked in.
NASCAR has lost its greatest driver ever, and I personally have lost a great friend. And that's Bill Francis' quote, and I think that pretty well sums it up for the NASCAR community.
Meanwhile, fans flocked to memorabilia stores around the country and in eastern North Carolina trying to get a keepsake of number 3, but not without controversy.
Now that is gouging on people. He'd turn over his grave if he knew what y'all were doing.
It tears me up more to come down here to get a piece of memorabilia of a driver who I loved, who all of us loved, and this man is marking up things 4 and 5 times.
The show went on for NASCAR. Memorable and emotional victories followed. Steve Park, who drove for DEI, won at Rockingham the following week. 3s were in the air. Everyone was silent in the third lap of every race. Earnhardt's replacement, Kevin Harvick, won in Atlanta 2 weeks after the deadly crash. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. went to Victory Lane in the first race at Daytona since the tragedy. NASCAR made safety its #1 priority after Earnhardt's death. The head and neck restraints became mandatory. The cockpits of the cars completely changed over to become safer. Technology helped change everything. Dale had a huge impact on the sport, even after he was gone.
Racing for someone